This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Nokia XpressMusic 5800. This is Nokia's first S60 touchscreen phone. It's got a 3.2-inch display that's a very large 640 by 360 pixels. That's a 16:9 aspect ratio. Take a look at the entire device. It's got a 3.2 megapixel autofocus camera, Carl Zeiss lens, dual LED flash on the back. It's capable of shooting VGA video at 30 fps like the N95 and N96, so the quality isn't as good as those two, especially in low light, but it's pretty darn good. You have volume controls here. This is the screen lock, unlock, equivalent of keyguard, camera button right here. This is your stylus here. You can also use your finger with the phone, but it does have handwriting recognition if you want to use that. You're going to use the stylus. You've got the USB port up here, a standard 3.5mm headphone jack, the charging port, and the power button. The front is very simple, like most touchscreen phones these days. You've got call, send, and end buttons, and you've got the S60 application key, which brings up all the programs. And if you press and hold, it does the task manager thing and shows you all open applications. This is the home screen. It is similar to the active desktop that we've seen on other S60 phones. This one has an option of either having 4 caller photo ID pictures up here for quick dialing, or 4 applications. Then you've got your usual listing of upcoming appointments here and the search function. It's a little bit different is if you want to set an alarm, you just tap on the clock icon. And you can also bring up the world clock. And if you want to change your profile, you just tap right by the date here and you can quickly change the profile. You can also do that by quickly pressing the power button, just like any other S60 phone. This brings up your dialer right here. This is your contacts right here. Now, throughout you'll have scroll bars on S60 5th edition. They've got a little work to do there. You can drag through some things, but not all things, to scroll. And it's kind of goofy. It's not like the iPhone where you can just zip right through, or even some Samsung TouchWiz phones. It does have an accelerometer built in. It's good. It's not too twitchy. It doesn't drive you crazy by switching every time you barely move the phone at all. You've got several keyboards to choose from. And we'll take a look right now. That's the mini QWERTY. You can tap over here to go to the full screen QWERTY, which is a lot easier to use. And then whatever you're typing is just going to show up in this little window here because it's blocking, obviously, the screen. If it's a field where a phone number is appropriate, like the to field in a text message, they'll bring up a specialized keyboard with numbers and symbols that are appropriate for that. Touch generally works well, but as you can see, once in a while we're having to hit the screen a couple of times to get it to register. Generally, it's not much of a problem. Again, here, you can't scroll through your icons unless you use the scroll bar. This has a very good music player, since this is an XpressMusic phone. The speaker quality is fantastic. The speakers are right here. You can barely see them. But they're very powerful and very loud. Sound better than most phones on the market. And this supports flash video, and it can play locally stored video as well. Let's take a look. You've got this little touch sensitive key up here that brings up your music player, picture viewer, video player, internet, and so on. We're going to play a locally stored video right now. One of the sample videos, because it's a fairly high bitrate video. Automatically plays in landscape mode. That video is over 1000 kbps, set at the native resolution 640 by 360 widescreen, so that's a pretty demanding file that's playing well. Phone also has flash playback. So we'll take a look at flash video from our own site. And this is the LG Xenon for AT&T. The Xenon is a lot like the View by LG, also an AT&T, but it adds. So there you have it, a flash video. We'll take a quick look at the music player since this is a music-centric phone. It comes with an 8 gig card, so you can put a lot of tunes on there, obviously, and there's some preloaded video content as well. This is the 5800 North American edition, otherwise known as the NAM edition. And it comes with the 8 gig card, a $50 gift certificate for Amazon Video On Demand, and it has US 3G for AT&T. It's sold unlocked, direct by Nokia. You can get it at their flagship stores in Chicago and New York, or you can get it from Nokia online and other retailers. It's $3.99, no contract required. There's a music player which does support album art. You've got options for shuffle, repeat, and equalizer, playlists, and you can use any song as a ringtone. Supports AAC iTunes format, MP3, Windows Media format protected files. In terms of multimedia, the phone also has an FM radio, the usual Nokia Gallery application for viewing photos, and it has a GPS with Nokia Maps, which we'll take a look at right now. It's pretty quick to get a fix, especially by Nokia standards. We're really impressed about the fact that it gets a fix in about 20 seconds or so. You drag maps around with your finger, as with most touchscreen phones. And if you pay for the service, you can get turn-by-turn spoken directions. Otherwise, you do still get maps and on-screen directions, even if you don't pay. Works with Google Maps as well. Take a quick look at it compared to the iPhone. Size-wise, you can see it's a lot smaller than the iPhone, though it is considerably thicker. It's a pretty thick phone considering that it doesn't have a slide-out keyboard. On-screen keyboard is your only option. Here it is next to the Samsung Eternity touchscreen phone for AT&T. Again, it's smaller, but it is thicker. The phone also has Wi-Fi, and it has Bluetooth 2.0 with A2DP for Bluetooth stereo. It's got a front-facing camera for video conferencing, but that's not supported by any carrier in the US. But if you do take it overseas and use another carrier SIM, you could use that feature. And that's the Nokia XpressMusic 5800 North American Edition. Visit Mobile Tech Review to read the full review.